has very wonderfully divvied up the questions for who they're being asked of. And I do see there was a couple here that were addressed to folks that are not present tonight. And if that was the case, then we have shifted them to an all panel question. So thank you. Go ahead, Matt. Thank you.
So I'm going to start with Bruce. This question. What are your ideas for how the board can increase youth activities under the current facilities that WVA has?
Well, I hope I can use the land that the WVA has, because my idea for youth activities would be joint parking with PATH. Does everybody know PATH? And I think we have an opportunity to put some type of a greenway or runway activity through the Waikoloa land, which would include something for running, bicycling, walking your dog, rollerblading. The workout stations, have you ever seen the workout stations? They put those along the path, and that's a great activity for kids. It doesn't take very much. And working with PATH, grants, the Waikoloa Village Association, I think we have an excellent opportunity to build one type of village.
Thank you, Bruce.
For the candidate's sake, we're going to show the yellow card at 15 seconds as we show them. So we're not cutting it right in the middle.
Okay, Scott. How can this village association help Waikoloa Elementary and Middle School in building a gymnasium for PE and other sports activities of the school children in the village?
I would think that the association would find some way to partner with the residents, because the association couldn't pay for it. They could probably help out to a certain degree, possibly do matching funds, possibly sell a parcel of land, which would maybe equate to about half of what it would cost that we wouldn't otherwise be using. I don't think that the association as a whole should pay for the whole thing, but maybe partner with some of the adults and interested parties in the village. That would help out probably tremendously, because the gymnasium would be really good. I've noticed that many schools don't have it, including musical programs and all that. The gymnasium and athletic activities would be a big plus.
Thank you. And Lonnie, how can the WVA members subsidize golf course, expand the courses used for children and families with affordable opportunities?
Good question. We've been talking about that quite a bit lately, and we have a program now going, trying to just make the golf course break even. We've been talking to people down in the resort areas and other entities to get more play on the course. That's been getting better and better. We have a youth program here where the golf pros are teaching golf to some of the youngsters and having some youth days. And we'll just continue to do that, continue to grow that to make the golf course more enjoyable for the whole community.
Thank you. And Roxanne, what ideas do you have to promote golf and increase the stables income?
Ideas for golf. That's just off the top of my head. Kind of like a frequent, like many of you I'm sure have frequent flyer miles. Something like a golf, not necessarily a golf club, but a frequent player club, where you can, reward folks that play the most. And it can be different levels, because currently where I am employed, we work on points. So people can travel, stay anywhere around the world on points. And there's different levels of points, and the more points you have, the more bonuses or perks you have. So that could possibly spearhead or grow the play on the golf course. And the second part of the question? Oh, the stables?
Yes, golf, increase the stables income.
Well, we just have to let the community know that the stables is part of the WVA. A lot of people I've talked to had no idea that it was part of the WVA, had no idea how to access it. So just getting the word out on what's available, how it can be used, and just getting more ideas on, different programs that can be held there.
Thank you. Bruce, is there a need for strategic planning in WBA? What are the benefits or drawbacks? Do you have experience in strategic planning?
I don't believe there's any drawbacks in strategic planning. We should all have a business
Speak
plan.
up.
Usually that's not a problem for me, whether it's speaking or how much I speak. But a business plan and specifically a strategic plan should be developed by any business, whether it's a profit or non-profit organization. There are no negative sides to it. The negative thing would be that we didn't have a strategic plan. And that's the only way to go forward, is to see where we're at, have some goals, and then take those steps to achieve those goals. And a community such as this, and the size of our community, it would be very important to have it and create those strategic plans and business plans on an annual basis. Even my little company, sitting up in the village, I create a business plan every year.
Thank you. And Scott, WBA has curtailed community activities. Popular activities cannot afford the high fees for room rental. Is there any prospect of revisiting this issue?
Well, I think that the room rental, I know that it's a cost to the WBA. People to rent probably be this room. I don't know what it is. It's kind of minimal, but I think that probably you would want to forego the room rental costs, absorb them as an association to get more people involved, and maybe do it on a donation basis possibly. Have, please donate something as you use the room, get rid of the out-and-out cost. That may or may not work, but it's an opportunity. But I think getting the public much more interested in doing things, in this room at least, would be a great start.
Thank you. Ronnie, this question relates to the style in which board meetings are held.
I could hear you, ma'am.
This question is in regards to the style in which board meetings are held. This particular questions or viewed some terse exchanges between the board and the members. What are your thoughts on how to encourage more active participation?
Well, I think that we've had a few changes in the past year, but when I first got on the board, everybody was hollering, everybody standing up, jumping, screaming across the rooms, and a lot of the input was negative, and I tried to turn it around to positive, and we've done that, and I would think the board would continue to do that. And of course, I've only got another month as president, so I got somebody else to beat on in that manner. But I think we turned our board meetings from just I call it a circus when I first got on the board. It was an absolute circus. To now, you get a lot of information. We're transparent. You understand what the business is going on in the village. The good news, the bad news, and I'm happy with the direction it went.
Thank you. Roxanne, you state that you have many more ideas and projects. Can you share or name some of them?
Well, first of all, the golf idea I just rattled off. I've been thinking quite a lot about that, and I think if we can do, raise the play on the golf course with either some sort of frequent player club, that might help. Just getting the word out to the community, like the junior golf that we have, stuff like that. I'd like to see maybe the Willy Willy Festival come back, I don't know, or at least one other festival. I know places on Oahu, they have like I Love Kailua, they have a festival out there like that. I mean, we are on the Gold Coast of the Big Island, and so I think we have a lot of resources that we can tap into, definitely. We have like 5-star resorts and chefs that really live in our village and that we can tap into, so maybe a food festival or some sort of idea like that.
Thank you. Scott, you state that some individuals may need to grant temporary hardship exemptions. How do you envision such a program fairly?
Fairly, I think you'd have to address it, you'd have to arrive at some kind of determination of what constitutes a hardship, and kind of address each case on a case-by-case basis. There'll be some folks out there who are having such financial difficulties, they may not be able to pay any of their bills, let alone the homeowner association fees. I'd say give them, maybe not necessarily waive it, but give some kind of payment plan. They'd have to, catch up maybe next year or something like that, so they wouldn't get any kind of difficulty. But there's a lot of folks out with a lot of hardships here. One may or may not be aware of it, but especially on the younger families, because a lot of us are more stable. We have income from different areas generally, but a lot of our young folks are struggling beyond imagination. So I would say just derive some parameters to determine it would be fair and equitable to all of those.
Thank you. Lonnie, I guess this goes back to your other question. It says, do you plan to run for president of the board again? Do you plan to run for president of the board again?
I can't do that. It's, you have a two-year term limit, one time in your life, and this is my second year as president, so I will never be president of the board again. I would just like to sit on the board and help make decisions to move the village forward in a positive, non-political manner.
Thank you. Bruce, why not put the now new police station at the present fire station? Call the place the Life Safety Building?
Why not?
Is there a new police station?
I know that the police have tried to develop a station within the Whitewell Highlands Shopping Center, move it over there, and I haven't heard anything recently about that issue, and I have never heard anything about a police station next to the fire department, but that would work for me. I'd like to see better police coverage within Whitewell Village instead of a car hiding down Franklin Place. Did I don't know if I understood the question.
First of all, I didn't know if we had a new police station at all. Well, that's the question. Roxanne, some of your activities are a part of London Life Outreach. What have you done regarding WBA board activities?
I coordinated the Whitewell Harvest Festival, and just participated by being at all board meetings and the Whitewell Leadership Council.
Okay. This question is for both Bruce and Scott. How many board meetings have you attended in the past year, or committee involvement?
I'll go for the board meetings. Probably 11. Community activities for the WBA, probably none.
I've been to 2 board meetings within the past year and no committee. I do have staff that represent my business on committees, but I have not been invited to be a member of any board in the past year.
Thank you. Lonnie, how has the association dealt with the current drug abuse or substance abuse problem? This has affected school children and families in the village.
There's a really good question. We've communicated with, we started Neighborhood Watch. We've been communicating with the police department, and we just want to keep it in the forefront that drugs are a big, big problem in the world, and in the state of Hawaii it's really, really big, and we kind of turn our head to that. And we need to just keep it in the forefront, keep communicating with the police when we have problems. I know of 2 problems yesterday down in the resort area where people were high on drugs and causing problems. It's just really a bad disease here. And I would, if I'm reelected to the board, I would keep talking about that. And we have a great manager in and Roger here, and to keep pushing that and see how we can, you know, approach it. It's a tough problem to deal with all over the world, and we don't know how to deal with it. But anyway, I would, elected to the board, I would keep that in the forefront.
Roxanne, do you think property owners who are not current with their WVA dues should be allowed to vote, you know, on ballot for the annual meeting or other WVA business?
Well, being that this is America, everyone I feel should have the right to vote and have their voice heard, whether they be in the news or not.
Scott, you state that our CC&Rs have become very intrusive. Your example of building costs are for the most part not within the purview of our management. Can you provide other examples of intrusive?
Well, since I've been in the village since 1990, I've had the opportunity to review the CC&Rs pretty regularly, and they were consistent, as in unchanged, till around 2005.